We're going over 4 videos by Dr. Nowhere that are incredibly unsettling. By now, you've probably already heard of the boiled one, and if you haven't, today you're gonna learn. Make sure you watch until the end because the creator of the series actually confirms the meaning of it, so be sure to support the original creator. Most likely you've already seen this video if you're into analog horror, but this is where the series starts, a short but impactful video of a creature that can only be described as uncanny. It's determined to get through the user's screen with force. Now aside from all the hilarious comments, it is scary to watch this thing do this for 30 seconds. In this second video, we take the point of view of a guy who is seemingly being tormented by this uncanny figure, which the man asks the figure what it wants and to go away, but the only response it gives is, hello.
What do you want? Please go away. Please go away.
The video then cuts to a shot of the creature frantically trying to break through the screen, as we saw in the first episode, except this time, it succeeds. And the outcome of this is haunting. The body appeared untouched, so it's pretty easy to conclude that this entity, whatever it may be, is not of this world and is most definitely not human. In the third video here, we get a bit of a more detailed story. It starts with some message about waking up and talking about good children do this and good children do that. Just kind of basic things you'd see in some educational PSA meant for children. Not quite sure what the purpose of that is, but okay. We then cut to what appears to be an old chat room, in which our point of view character starts chatting with one of them. There's also this message that says, for governmental viewing only. Again, not quite sure what most of this means yet, but we may end up coming back to it. We begin to chat with Dominic9999. Now this conversation is going as smoothly as an ex that isn't interested in you anymore. The person on the other side seems to have an interesting typing style, like a caveman. Dominic really wants to face call, but why? Like he's really adamant about this and still talking like a caveman. He gives in and accepts Dominic's face call. And it it looks like our friend has made a return. It's safe to say that whatever that creature was in the first video is starving to video call more people so he can do the same to them. And based off of what the entity says, I don't think it's unfair to assume he is consuming them. The final shot of the video ends with that same heart beating and text that says none of it makes any sense. And that's kind of how I feel about this series so far. And now we're here to the boiled one phenomenon, which feels like the key term of this series. And this is the longest video yet, so I hope we get some insight to what exactly is going on. Once again, we're presented with a PSA-like slideshow, except it's a little twisted. There's a lot of prayer and Bible shit going on, so I'm gonna assume that this is a demonic entity. The PSA states that in the 90s, there was a children's-based TV program that was about woodland exploration and education. But this show was sadly taken off the air due to the death of the narrator in the show. However, the issue arose when a rerun of the show started out of nowhere.
Good morning, bushwhackers. Today we're venturing into the heart of the forest to find a plant that's as beautiful as it is deceptive. Poison oak. We all know about it, and here in Pennsylvania it's not as common, but still something to look out for. And here on we aim to uncover all the wonderful secrets that nature has to offer, no matter how minuscule or gigantic. So let's get going, shall we?
As it says here, the signal would be hijacked and broadcast something that would appear as a red melted face, which this face would be referred to as PHEN 228. And as he spoke, there would be live feed of hospital beds and bedrooms on the screen. Now, this broadcast is going to show us just what the people saw while watching TV that day. They also advised to watch this with blue light glasses and earplugs. The strange part about this is it was only broadcasted to a small number of 500 people in Pennsylvania. The effects of this broadcast consisted of power outages and pseudocoma, also known as locked-in syndrome, which, as it explains here, makes the patient unable to perform any motor functions, but they are aware at the same time. So a coma, but being aware of it, you just can't do anything about it. I wanted to point out that my first thought here was of Metallica's song 1, which was a song about a man who is basically left in the same state as these people and really demonstrates the horrors of war. Here they go on to say that one of the patients has a grandson that ended up taking a strange photo in his backyard of what appears to be that same figure from the broadcast, which that man was able to communicate this due to the fact that he was fluent in Morse code. Later we get to see this man being interviewed, but what follows is beyond terrifying.
Hope you're doing well today. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions regarding your condition and possibly unholiness within your home that your family had mentioned? Okay, first and foremost, did you notice any onset symptoms before you lost complete mobility of your body? Face, huh? When did you begin seeing this face? Interesting. Many of the people who have seen the broadcast that you saw on August the 13th described having vivid and upsetting hallucinations. Do you think this is something your brain has created? Can you please describe this face to me? I still don't see it. Have you been having any hallucinations aside from the face? I'm sorry to hear that. Are these screams constant? Thank you. You shedding light on this is helping more than you know.
Listen closely. Do you hear it? You will hear the laughter of thousands as the sky opens up. You will hear the trumpets play their happy sounds.
I absolutely hate how distorted this thing looks and the way it talks. It actually gives me goosebumps when I sit here and listen to it. The way that it speaks with the eerie trumpets playing in the background really sets off the scary factor. It also appears that Fen 228 is trying to warn of something. It's been speculated that this is a warning of the apocalypse, but why? Is it referring to itself as a product of the apocalypse or the end times? What exactly is its reason for doing this? Well, I'll leave you guys with this. In the film theorist video on this analog horror, they go into detail about the possible meaning of this video, a lot of it being metaphorical about PTSD, and the sad reality one has to deal with when being trapped in this state. A story about how you deal with something, perseverance. The coolest part about this is in the comments, he actually confirms the film theorist's theory to be right on the nose. As of right now, this is the last we get to see of the Boiled One. Other than a few more spin-off episodes, there's not too much that adds to the main storyline. But I'm sure that will come in due time. So let me know what you think of the Boiled One down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.